Destini Roye from St. Hugh's High School for Girls, vying for the post of Region 1 Vice President. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. She does not set out to be the leader, but becomes one by the equality of her actions and the integrity of her intent. This quote by Douglas MacArthur truly resonated with me and spoke to my core. My name is Destini Roye, a proud ambassador for St. Hugh's High School for Girls, and I am vying for the post of Region 1 Vice President for the academic year of 2020 to 2021. The Region 1 Student Council representative is filled with dynamic talents and strong advocates. With my manifesto, I aim to strengthen and increase the reach of my region's voice, and by extension, the National Secondary Students Council. My manifesto includes to implement the incorporation of digital workshops due to the outbreak of the virus, where students can tune in with the ease of being in the comfort of their homes, instead of having to travel to and from the central location where the meeting is being held. This will be held bi-monthly via Zoom, and it would also be recorded to facilitate those students with internet issues at home. So no student feels left behind, as it is not only cost effective, but it also saves time, adds more precaution and protection against the novel virus, and provides security for those students who are not privy to school transportation. Secondly, in keeping with the digital delivery, by using digital workshops, I would implement presidential board meeting seminars, which will educate presidents about the code of ethics governing school boards that will then benefit all parties involved with a developed sense of agency. As most students are unaware of how to adapt, they just learn as they go along. These workshops are intended to take place between September and November, as it symbolizes the start of a new academic year, and it's also when the first board meeting is most likely held. Also, to raise more awareness within Region 1 with the aim of increasing familiarity among students with the members of the NSSC body. This aim would be executed through various mediums such as Instagram, Twitter, and so on. Posters and flyers would be sent to administrators to keep them abreast. Due to the outbreak, physical meetings during the academic year certainly will take the necessary protocols, such as sanitization upon entry and the limitation for the gathering of students, whereas a specified amount of persons would be assigned to a specific day. In light of the current outbreak, I would employ various strategies to ensure that no student is left behind by creating flexible user-friendly programs that would coincide with the online learning platforms put forth by the government, by accumulating the student councils across the region to help to advocate to government, the JTA, and all other stakeholders for the idea of transitioning from the #SchoolsNotOut mandate to #SchoolOnTheGo, which will create an equal opportunity for students to learn the lessons taught. This is in keeping with the government's motto, every child will learn, every child must learn. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Roye, and for obliging us and going again. So at this time, we'll have Mr. Scott.
Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves.
Mr. Scott, second, you're supposed to introduce yourself, your name, what you're going
to introduce myself after. Everyone, my name is Darrell Scott, and I am vying for the position of Region 1 Vice President. Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. Fellow peers, students, and other members of the audience, good day. This is a quote that personally speaks to me, as I am a leader who possesses these qualities. My name is Darrell Scott. I am ambitious, talented, and dedicated. I attend the St. George's College, and I am vying for the position of Region 1 Vice President. I stand here today not only representing St. George's College nor Region 1, but the entire NSSC and students everywhere. Currently, I hold the position of Treasurer in my council. And since my tenure as Treasurer, I have seen the payment of member contribution and attitude towards member contribution take a 180 degrees turn. This was due to the fact that I encourage councillors to pay their dues. I show them what can come from the result of payment of dues. And with such understanding and improved communications, my goal was accomplished. In the same way that I saw issue with member contribution in my council and took up the task of fixing it, I have seen an issue in our region where we are divided, and a divided body cannot stand. So if I am elected as Vice President, I will implement plans that will ensure the region becomes a united, efficient, and effective body. Plans such as an increase in the amount of regional events and meetings that are held, improve communication throughout the entire region, and more inter-counseling to foster a social bond between each school and its members. These will hold team-building exercises which result in a happier and healthier council. The issue of underdeveloped councils in schools will be dealt with under my regime. I will implement more exchange days and student building and leadership seminars to ensure that each school is given the opportunity to become their best selves and lead efficiently and successfully. I will ensure that each school adheres to the 2 days notice suspension rule. This is due to the fact that some schools give a suspension without a proper hearing or student council representative present. I will ensure that this plan is effective by the president giving me a monthly report after each board meeting that he or she has attended, so I can review that and see that the school has been, the issues of the students has been dealt with properly, and that the purpose of student council is still being carried out. Vote for me, and remember, you can do a lot with Scott. I thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Scott. Now we'll have asked for the spotlight of both Mr. Scott and Ms. Roye as we commence our Q&A section. Just to remind you, 3 questions will be asked in total. However, I will ask 1 question at a time. I will ask the question only once. I may repeat it depending on how long the question is, and both of you will be answering the same questions. Please stand by. Okay, Ms. Roye and Mr. Scott, once again, I'm going to ask the technical team to spotlight both, if that's possible, or to spotlight the speaker that will answer the question first. So I will ask Ms. Roye to go first in answering the question. Remember, guys, please mute your mics unless it's your turn. Thank you. The question reads, why should students be involved in decision-making processes in their schools? Why should students be involved in decision-making processes in their schools? Ms. Roye, please answer first.
Okay, good afternoon again. Personally, I believe that students should be involved in the decision-making because really and truly, what's a school without students? Students should actually be involved in the decision-making because really, it's really us that is centered around, truly, and students have a voice that actually contribute because really and truly students are more innovative, they're younger, they're fresher. So they would actually build a better environment if you actually listen to the thoughts, what they actually like and so forth. So I believe that students will actually be a part of the decision making.
Thank you so much, Ms. Roye. Mr. Scott?
All right. Why should students be a part of the decision-making process? As Mr. Roye had said, a school is nothing without students. And for so long, students have been misrepresented. Their needs have not been met. And how can somebody not being a student understand what a student needs and what is best for a student? So it is instrumental for students to be a part of the decision-making process to see what is best for them and how they can effect change in their own lives.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Scott and, well, Mr. Scott and Ms. Roye. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, within your capacity as Vice President, if you should be elected, how will you ensure that more students are familiar with the NSSC? Within your capacity as Vice President, how will you ensure that more students are familiar with the NSSC? I will ask Mr. Scott to go first.
Okay. Wise man once said that leaders are catalysts and transformers, and many people do not know the purpose of student council in their schools and what our purpose really serves. We are the only student-led organization that is mandated by law, and I have myself has taken the liberty upon myself to print many copies of these same policies and acts. I will distribute these policies and acts, make them available for the public and each student viewing so they can have a greater understanding of what our purpose is in their lives.
Ms. Roye.
Okay, so I, for one, think that we should enforce actually be more involved in the schools. For example, only when it's student council week, one school is elected to actually go to with the NSSC body. And I think that's a bit unfair because personally, students need to know who is actually advocating on their behalf and representing them. So I would enforce that even if it's because of the whole coronavirus, that twice per month, the NSSC body, the executive body, could actually visit the schools, even if it's in the general devotions, just so they can be familiar with the faces to actually know who is representing them and advocating on their behalf.
Thank you, Ms. Roye, and thank you, Mr. Scott. Final question. Both of you are student leaders. You would have noted in your respective speeches that you have served on different committees, councils, etc. The question I have is this. What specific experiences have you had so far have prepared you for the role of vice president? What specific experiences that you have had so far have prepared you or will prepare you for the role of vice president? Ms. Roye, you may go first. Ms. Roye?
Okay, sorry about that. The mic wasn't unmuting. So I was in the position of vice president for St. Hugh Student Council body for the academic year of 2019 to 2020. So the role and the responsibilities is nothing new to me. I've been involved in various clubs, various activities. I'm very involved. I have been involved in even the ads for the NSSC body in the school community. I've been in wellness club, debate clubs, interact club, key club. So the term responsibility is really nothing new to me. So I believe that I'm capable of actually being the best vice president for Region 1.
Thank you, Ms. Roye, and that will have completed your section for Q&A. Mr. Scott.
As she has mentioned, I have been in many different clubs and society over the years, such as ISCF, Debate and UN Club, Interact, and Environmental Club. And many of these clubs, especially ISCF and Environmental Club, didn't have many members when I just came into the club. And with me being a leader in that club, I make sure I pushed an initiative for more people to join and become more effective in this club. And since then, these clubs have stable executive members and stable members coming out each week and actually taking an active role in the club and advancing it.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Scott. Thank you so much to both you and Ms. Roye. And that would have culminated the Vice President section for Region 1. And we're going to jump right into Secretary. I believe it's okay. Right, so we're jumping right into Secretary PRO, Region 1, Kingston and St. Andrew, Miss Destiny Edwards, representing St. Hugh's High. Miss Edwards?
Good afternoon, Miss.
Okay, so remember to introduce yourself, and then after you've accomplished that, go right into.
Yes, Miss. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Destiny Edwards from the St. Hugh's High School, vying for the position of Region 1 Secretary PRO. May I begin?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Miss. The price of greatness is responsibility. Winston Churchill. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Destiny Edwards, a proud student of the St. Hugh's High School, vying for the position of Region 1 Secretary PRO. As a student council, I understand in its entirety that with great power comes great responsibility. one in which I believe I wholeheartedly have portrayed. How can I make a difference? Upon my constant preparation for this position, I took the proactive steps of carrying out questionnaires to students so I could uproot the issue and take it head on. It was George Shaw who once said, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. The result from my questionnaire proves that effective communication has been a significant issue, whereas communication channels have been somewhat distorted. We have got awesome systems in place, but it is evident there is much more room for improvement. This is why I have decided to engineer a program, a flexible and relevant program that consists of effective and efficient communication that will build awareness throughout. Actions in place, my manifesto includes creating a team of all the student council presidents in my region and ensuring that all matters be handled and communicated to the various schools. Not just through text, calls, and emails, ladies and gentlemen, but actions, one-on-one meetings, workshops, posters and flyers, social media engagements, awareness-raising events such as concerts, all virtually and if possible, face-to-face, where we would educate students on the rights and the voice they didn't know they had. Ladies and gentlemen, the path to success is not just beautiful speaking, but it is taking massive, determined action that is enforced on a consistent and thorough basis. Responsible students make the difference. We can make that difference. Let's make the NSSC's vision a reality. One step forward, vote Destini Edwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. So we move right into your Q&A. As you're the only candidate right now, we will have 3 questions, and I will just ask the question, you answer, and I ask the other one, and that's how we will do it. So hope you're ready. So we start off with the first question. Identify one child right and discuss why this right is so important. And you may contextualize it to the Jamaican setting, or even the setting within your high school if you'd want to.
Okay. One of the child rights that really resonated with me would be the right of a child to be developed in its fullest. I believe that each child has the ability to become the greatest version of themselves. And I believe that let's create an environment for children, a mindset that says it's no limits. No matter what job you want to do, you can do it. So yes, that's what I believe.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Edwards. Pitch to us, you're Secretary PRO, so you'll be in charge of brand or the branding for your region.
Yes,
pretend as if we are a body that hasn't necessarily signed on or has seen the value of the NSSC. Pitch to us why, as a high school, it's so important that we engage with the NSSC.
Okay. The National Secondary Student Council organization is an organization that everyone should be a part of, and every student, every high school, it gives a voice for students. Imagine an organization that its essence is of protecting the students and representing them. That is such a good quality. I believe that students knowing about this organization will not just motivate them, but will give them a sense of empowerment. As most of the times these students, it's not that they're inadequate, they just lack the motivation. And it's this motivation that I have seen throughout the years that is coming from the NSSC.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Edwards. And your final question. I'm sure you have many plans that you'd like to undertake within your capacity if you're elected as a Secretary PRO. However, what would be your main priority in that regard?
Well, my first plan would definitely be the flyers. definitely be building awareness. As I just said, the NSSC must be known all around Jamaica. Flyers, flyers everywhere, not bombarding Crossroads or bombarding Portmore or anything like that. But let's put it, the NSSC in everyone's face, respectfully, of course. Imagine walking at Crossroads as a child, and you're just walking about on your usual day and just seeing a write as a flyer from the NSSC. I really think that would be such an improvement in our Jamaican society. Where, of course, motivation coming from this light post to this wall, I really think that would be really good.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Edwards. All right, and that would have ended our section, both manifesto and Q&A for Region 1. We thank all the candidates, and now we'll move to Region